These two could easily pass for being in their 20s. But when friends find out they're actually grandparents, jaws hit the floor. Their secret to boundless vitality? It's not expensive creams, not risky surgeries, not miracle genetics. In fact, researchers from Harvard, Yale, and Stanford now suggest the real fountain of everlasting vitality is hidden in your own brain. A tiny God spot, quietly blocked by invisible microtoxins. Imagine being in your 40s, 50s, or yes, even 70s with energy so boundless the little ones give up first and you just smile. Told you I'd win. You finish your daughter's sentence, then remind her of a detail she forgot. Wait, how'd you even remember that? She asks, stunned. And sleep? Like a reset button for your soul. You rise clear, steady, calm. This is how I was meant to feel. Skin glowing, hair fuller, a radiant, sexier shape emerging, joints moving easy, steps feeling lighter, the world brighter, clearer, sounds coming alive again, thoughts sharper, sparks of memory lighting up, as if someone inside you whispered, "Let's live again." Restored, reawakened, renewed. Most people would call this extraordinary, like a taste of heaven on earth. But as top neuroscientists from the Ivy Leagues are uncovering, this is looking more real than anyone imagined. And I'm just getting started. Because when your brain's Genesis gland activates, it's like stepping into a life where the unbelievable feels expected. Like Moses in the desert, Noah before the rains, or Adam and Eve in the garden. Suddenly you feel the divine spark sweep into your life in ways that once felt impossible. Locked doors swing open. The right people, answers, and opportunities appear. You feel guided, protected, provided for. Your wishes, your dreams, your prayers are magnified. Love, purpose. Even unexpected windfalls start finding their way to you. Abundance rushing in, like the 4 rivers of Eden once flowed through the garden. I know, it sounds incredible, but give me just a few minutes, and I'll show you the kind of scientific clues and ancient evidence that make even the most hardened skeptic go silent and start to believe. As you'll see, the Genesis gland, a hidden key pointing back to Eden's original design, was hidden in plain sight all along. Hidden in the ancient stone temples, hidden in the Great Pyramids, hidden in the Vatican, hidden atop the Sistine Chapel, and yes, hidden in the words of Jesus. Whatever you're facing right now, exhaustion, the heaviness in your body, the silence of loneliness, the moments when your thoughts scatter like sand on the wind, the ache of feeling yourself slip away, or the heavy strain of money pressing in, you are not broken, you are not forgotten, you are not alone. You've just been disconnected from something sacred, something always meant to be yours. See, long ago, early Christians spoke of a sacred wellspring hidden deep in the brain. Today, neuroscientists describe it as a kind of inner conductor, silently orchestrating how we think, feel, and function. Our Genesis gland. But in our modern world, invisible toxins are clouding it, breaking the harmony of renewal, vitality, and life force we were meant to carry. Countless people are experiencing what I now call the Genesis gland hijacking. What was meant to be a fountain of blessings has quietly turned into the source of our deepest struggles. Weight we can't shake, thoughts that scatter, restless nights, moods dropping, focus slipping, drive disappearing, joy harder to find, bills stacking higher, stress pressing harder, even time carving its marks faster than it should. But now, for the first time in thousands of years, our connection is renewed. Because what you're about to discover is a forgotten key to awakening Genesis gland, spoken of in the story of Adam and Eve, and carried through time by a sacred few. And as ancient clues now suggest, Noah's most sacred cargo wasn't just animals. It was the hidden key, an 8-second secret that ancient texts say could point us back toward what was lost in Eden, hidden for centuries, preserved in myth, carved in stone, whispered through time, and now the 8-second secret is surfacing again. A truth buried for ages, a secret they never wanted us to find. For centuries, those in power worked to keep this hidden, rewriting stories, burying clues, silencing voices. Even in modern times, entire books have been banned from the public. knowledge locked away, truth edited out of history. And today, the suppression continues in a different form. Toxins in our food, toxins in our water, all clouding the Genesis gland and cutting us off from renewal. In fact, researchers at the University of New Mexico found this hidden microtoxin in every single brain tissue sample they studied, with contamination levels reported to have risen more than 50% in the last 8 years. But in just a moment, you'll discover how to reawaken the Genesis gland, lift the fog, and start to sense renewal stirring through body, mind, and spirit. And it all begins in just a few seconds. 8 seconds, to be exact. Can you imagine? Vitality flowing through your body, rest that finally feels deep and renewing, a lighter, freer step, a mind sparking with clarity and creativity, a spirit that feels guided, supported, provided for. Like Moses leading his people into the promised land, provision described as appearing just when it's needed most. Manna from heaven, water from the rock. That same sense of divine provision, of life flowing in surprising, perfect timing ways, could be closer than you think. For many, the moment they reconnect with the Genesis gland, they'll begin noticing doors opening, answers finding them, opportunities unfolding, resources appearing, even relationships rekindling, all in ways they never expected. Perhaps even now, you stand on the threshold of a modern-day Eden. Hi, I'm Caleb Clay, and the discovery you're about to see has the world's most powerful forces doing everything they can to keep it hidden. They've spent decades trying to bury it, which is unfortunate for them, because I won't be silenced. Today, I lead the Health Genesis Institute, but most know me as the Ancient Health Hunter. For 10 years, I've traced Noah's descendants' trail through the Himalayas, Egyptian temples, even the mountains of China, searching for rare plants said to carry life-restoring power after the Great Flood. Sacred plants so unusual, they shatter the story modern medicine has been repeating for 100 years. These days, I live a quiet life with my beautiful wife Naomi in the mountains outside Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Some say we've found our own slice of Eden. And looking at us now, peaceful, blessed, abundant, they assume it's always been this way. But the truth? Not long ago, we weren't living in paradise. We were just trying to survive. I scraped by doing carpentry in a forgotten town. Out before sunrise, home after dark, hands cracked, back screaming, just trying to keep the lights on. Naomi drove 60 miles a day to work at a spa. Every bill was a prayer. Every unexpected expense, a crisis. And the hardest part wasn't the money. It was watching Naomi fade away. Her hands sometimes trembled, her vision blurred. Now and then she'd stop mid-sentence, forgetting what she was about to say. We made excuses. It's just stress, you need more sleep. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. Then one night, a crash. I run to the bathroom. Naomi's on the floor, eyes wide open, but distant. We rush to the ER, non-stop tests. Hours later, the doctor finally walks in, shrugs. Stress, hormones maybe. No answers, no plan. Just a pile of guesses. They mentioned something unusual deep in the brain near a tiny gland most doctors hardly talk about. But without access to high-dollar specialists, we were left in the dark. I'll never forget stalling at a gas station, digging for $6.73 in coins just to get home, and thinking, how in God's green earth am I supposed to protect her if I can't even keep the tank full? Nothing breaks you like watching the person you love slip away and being powerless to stop it. Looking back, this rock-bottom moment had a higher purpose. Days later, I get a call from an old buddy. Quick carpentry job, a retreat in the mountains. I need the cash, so I say yes. I expect a cabin in the woods. Instead, it's a billionaire's anti-aging playground. Glass domes, biohacking labs, even helicopters humming overhead. I came for a paycheck. But God had a different plan. Sweaty, tool belt on, I overhear 4 words that change everything. The elixir of Eden, a lost biblical formula whispered to restore the body's original divine design. The weight of it didn't hit me until I discovered our hidden past. Because modern scientists are uncovering evidence that seems to echo what the Bible has long described. 12,000 years ago, a great flood remembered across time. Yes, geological evidence suggests a worldwide flood, the kind remembered in the story of Noah, may have been far more than just myth. A truth many still carry in their hearts. As Genesis records, lifespans in that pre-flood world stretched beyond imagination. Adam, 930 years. Methuselah, 969. Noah, 950. Not just myth, not just metaphor, but a buried mystery, hidden away for generations. Lost truths reaching back to Noah himself. See, everyone remembers the animals, but what about the plants? The formulas, the sacred medicines? Wouldn't God have saved his most life-giving creations, along with the creatures? Thanks to my colleagues, top experts in their fields, we unearthed a 10,000-year-old flood account, long hidden from public view. Inside, a recipe, said to have been passed to Noah, built from ingredients remembered as coming from Eden itself, and described in ancient words as renewing strength, lifting vitality, even to, quote, restore lost youth to man. Now, I know you're wondering, how does a carpenter end up chasing a 10,000-year-old secret? It all started with a billionaire they called the Founder, a man obsessed with resurrecting the elixir of Eden. The conversation I overheard? A private meeting of elite scientists, debating one obscure question from Genesis. Why was Noah's first act after the flood to plant a vineyard? I can't help myself. Grape skins carry resveratrol. The ancients called it a youth compound. Today, scientists study it for longevity. Makes perfect sense. The room freezes. The Founder turns. Where'd you learn that? Appalachia, my grandmother's herbal wisdom. Did some neuroscience before life took a turn. He smiles. We're launching an expedition. We need someone who understands both faith and plants. Will you join us? If it could help Naomi, I was all in. What I discover next shakes me to my core. A secret so extraordinary, it had to be edited out of history. Here's what we're told. Early civilizations were primitive, isolated, tribal, no contact. But then, how did ancient cultures in Mexico, Turkey, Egypt, and China all build identical pyramids? Massive stones, cut with surgical precision. So massive, we still can't move them today. Our team uncovered a striking connection. Across 5 ancient cultures, separated by oceans, we discovered the same symbols, all pointing toward one hidden legend, the elixir of Eden. First, take carving number 1, the pine cone. Why does the Pope carry one on his staff? Why is there a 12-foot pine cone statue in the Vatican courtyard? It's not random. The pine cone symbol shows up everywhere, from Egypt to India to Mexico. And here's what stunned us. The pine cone matches the exact shape of the pineal gland in your brain, what the ancients called the third eye, what we now call the Genesis gland. Because when it awakens, energy rises, clarity sharpens, and suddenly it's like stepping back into Eden itself. Then there was carving number 2, the mystery bucket, a strange handbag or bucket symbol found in Ecuador, Mesopotamia, and most shockingly, Göbekli Tepe, Turkey, possibly Eden itself. A carving over 11,600 years old, just after the flood. And what's always next to it? The pine cone, the tree of life. Now, researchers across fields suggest it wasn't decoration. It was a symbol of the elixir, something the ancients guarded for a reason. An ancient formula said to awaken the Genesis gland, your inner lighthouse. And here's what the official story leaves out. After the flood, Noah's descendants didn't stay in one place. They scattered, carrying pieces of Eden with them. That's why we find the same pyramid structures, the same pine cone symbols, the same legends of a life-giving elixir across 5 ancient civilizations. Our mission became clear. Trace the stories, follow the symbols, and unearth the lost pieces of the elixir. I remember the moment, right before we left. We were in the kitchen. I'll put this in the... she said, then stopped. Her gaze froze on the microwave, blank, searching, lost. For what felt like forever, she searched for the word. When she finally whispered, "Thing," we didn't say a word, but we both knew. If this formula had even a chance, I had to find it. 72 hours later, I was on a plane to Turkey, leading a team of world-class researchers straight to the source. Stop 1, Turkey, Noah's Vineyard. Take a look at this image. What does it look like? If you said a giant ark, you'd be right. Radar scans suggested a massive man-made wooden structure buried 18 miles south of Mount Ararat, right where Genesis describes Noah's Ark came to rest. It even matches the Bible's dimensions and lines up with the oldest known map of the region. But here's what you won't hear in the headlines. Nearby, we find something even more shocking. Wild grapevines. Still alive, still thriving. Just like the book of Genesis records. We run tests, and what we discover stuns us. These grapes contain off-the-charts levels of resveratrol, far beyond anything found in commercial varieties. My offhand theory was spot on. Resveratrol, celebrated across cultures and today studied for what it may unlock. Sharper memory, steadier mind, energy pulsing from deep inside your cells, genes tied to vitality and long life, a hidden key to awakening what I call the Genesis gland. And that's why Noah planted the vineyard first, not for wine, but to begin the renewal of the world. And just as we prepared to leave Turkey, our guide shows us something strange. A dense black mineral lodged in rock. Warm, tar-like, almost alive. We didn't know it then, but this mystery sample would become the final piece of the puzzle. From Turkey, we jetted off to stop 2, Egypt, Pharaoh's gold. We climb Mount Serebit, long rumored to be the true Mount Sinai, where Moses spoke face to face with God. At the summit, among temple ruins, we uncovered stone basins dusted with a shimmering white powder. Hieroglyphs called it the bread of light. Egyptian royalty spoke of it in their so-called elixirs of immortality, blends said to sharpen the mind, stretch vitality, and bend the limits of age. And based on everything we uncovered, we couldn't help but wonder, was this the same sacred substance described as manna from heaven? Was this Moses' secret? The divine catalyst behind the miracles? Deep down, we knew. Today, researchers call it gold ormus, a rare, absorbable form of 24-karat gold. Think of it as spiritual jumper cables, said to recharge the body's spark, linked with heightened clarity, believed to awaken the Genesis gland itself. Stop 3, China, the Emperor's Edge. In the misty mountains of remote China, a 90-year-old herbalist guides us to a hidden grove. There, clinging to fallen trees, we find white, waterfall-like mushrooms. He taps his forehead and says, "This is lion's mane. It opens the eye." For thousands of years, Chinese mystics revered this mushroom, said to restore lost memory, deepen intuition, awaken the third eye. When we examine it, what we discover leaves us speechless. We are holding another piece of the elixir. Stop 4, Himalayas, the final key. At 16,504 feet, our Sherpa vanishes into a hidden crevice. 20 minutes later, he returns, holding something unreal. A black, pulsing resin that seems almost alive. In ancient Ayurvedic texts, it's called the destroyer of weakness. Science calls it Shilajit. But it wasn't ordinary Shilajit. It radiated warmth to the touch, almost as if a current of life was running through it. We named it High Mountain Shilajit, the black gold of Eden. 84+ ionic minerals, fulvic acid, revered as nature's purifier. And most important of all, said to wash away the blocks within, breaking down the shell that hides the Genesis gland's light. Could this be the same substance preserved near Noah's Ark? Lab tests suggested something astonishing, a rare molecular signature, one that mirrored the substance found near Noah's Ark. Results that aligned with what we already knew in our hearts. And then came the breakthrough. When we test the first 3 ingredients, results are strong. But something feels incomplete. Then we add the High Mountain Shilajit, and everything changes. Key signals in our tests light up all at once. It was like the formula had been asleep, and suddenly woke up. That's when we knew this was it. The sacred activator, the missing key in Eden's lost formula. For the first time in generations, it felt as though the elixir of Eden was alive again. I wasn't expecting a miracle, but within days, Naomi seemed steadier. Within weeks, her spark was returning, her mind sharper, her laugh brighter. Then one morning, she gently wakes me, tears in her eyes. "Caleb," she whispers, "it feels like a weight has lifted. My thoughts are clear again." That's when I knew the light was back. But we weren't done yet. We confirmed 4 key ingredients, but some elements were off, others missing. Back home, I became obsessed. What made the formula work? Every path, every test led to one answer: the Genesis gland. When the Genesis gland reawakens, energy lifts, clarity sharpens, and doors seem to open to vitality, joy, even unexpected blessings. See, your Genesis gland is built like a hidden eye, tucked away deep in your brain center. It even has photoreceptors, just like your retinas. But instead of forming vision, it reads light. At night, it flips to rest mode, flooding your body with melatonin, triggering deep repair, recovery, and healing. At first light, it shifts to active mode, releasing cortisol, fueling focus, energy, and action. And inside, it gets even more astonishing. This gland contains microscopic calcite crystals, crystals that vibrate with pressure and frequency. Many believe these crystals act like antennas, tuning you to subtle signals in your environment, and perhaps even the divine. Could this be why Jesus pointed to it in his teaching? When the Genesis gland is clear and alive, energy flows, focus strengthens, spirit aligns, renewal awakens, and life itself feels miraculous. But in recent decades, something's been shutting it down, leaving millions feeling tired, disconnected, and drained. And now, more and more leading doctors are raising the alarm. As these experts explain, the greatest threat isn't something you can see or even feel. It's invisible. Microplastics, now found in 94% of tap water, in your salt, even in the rain. And when they get inside you, they don't just disappear. A 2025 study in Nature Medicine found up to 7 grams of plastic, about the weight of a spoon, building up in our brain's sacred center. The most disturbing part? Brains tied to memory loss showed up to 10 times more plastic than those without impairment. Why? Because microplastics appear able to cross the blood-brain barrier. And once inside, many believe they may harden into deposits, forming what I call the Genesis shell. Once this shell forms, your master control system shuts down, triggering 2 dangerous effects. 1, rest and restore breakdown. Melatonin gets disrupted, your internal clock goes haywire, you wake up tired. Nights feel restless. It's like the body's repair crew never shows. Hair weakens, skin weathers, memories scatter like leaves in the wind. The signs of wear creep in. Time itself feels like it's speeding up. 2, spiritual signal loss. The antenna inside flickers and fades. You feel blocked, disconnected from the divine. Direction disappears. Flow dries up. Life feels hard, heavy, closed off, like being cast out of paradise all over again. This is what happened to Naomi. What looked like scattered struggles, all traced back to a hidden shell around the Genesis gland. A center built for light, now muffled and muted. Without its conductor, the body's symphony breaks down, piece by piece. And then what happens? Many experts believe the effects ripple everywhere, into sleep, energy, memory, mood, focus, weight, even those nagging issues no one can quite explain, like a single fuse blown, darkening the whole house. But when the Genesis gland flickers back to life, everything feels different. As time passed, Naomi's light kept growing. Her eyes sparkled again, her voice steadied, her energy lifted. She started dreaming again, laughing again. We felt lighter, closer, reconnected. It was like the garden had reopened in every sense of the word. And me? I didn't even notice the changes at first, until a friend said, "You look younger. What are you doing?" Suddenly I was waking up clear, strong, calm, focused. Old aches felt lighter. Energy climbed. I was pulling my belt tighter, buying new clothes. Proof that change was real. I felt renewed, powerful, as if years had been peeled away. As we fine-tuned the formula, word spread. People at the retreat started calling us the new Adam and Eve. And we weren't alone. A beloved star of stage and screen said it best. I'm glowing. The sparkle's back in my eyes. I finally feel like me again. A well-known biohacker told us it replaced half my supplement stack. My deep sleep soared, my brain laser sharp. I could go on. And the most unexpected shift? It wasn't just in my body, it was in my life. As my Genesis gland awakened, the static cleared and the signal came in strong. The right people showed up, the right ideas dropped in, the right doors opened. One night, an invention idea flowed through me, a simple tool upgrade, sketched on the back of a napkin. Within weeks, the royalties were in motion. Not just bills, not just basics. They gave us margin, comfort, freedom. The fridge was full, the truck fueled, the mortgage covered, new clothes in the closet, vacations on the calendar. Then came the upgrades. A new car in the driveway, our dream house, our own Eden, in a zip code so exclusive, billionaires come just to vacation there. For the first time in our lives, we weren't just surviving, we were thriving. When your signal beams bright, it feels like holding the winning ticket every single day. And here's the best part. Until now, this formula was reserved for a few select guests at our private retreat. Why? Because every ingredient is sacred and scarce. Most are sourced from remote regions, only accessible certain times each year. Our high mountain shilajit, buried under snow 8 months at a time. There's only so much we can collect. But today, for the first time ever, the very formula that reshaped our lives is no longer just for billionaires and insiders. I put up $50,000 of my own money to fund a private release. How private? Just 444 bottles to start, a number chosen to symbolize new beginnings, for a select group ready to reconnect with their divine design. And now, with your permission, I'd like to invite you into the Genesis Revival Pilot Program. Yes, that's right. For the first time in thousands of years, the spirit of the elixir of Eden has returned. Genesis Revival is the world's first and only modern formula crafted to clear the static, break the shell, and awaken what we call the Genesis gland. Using the 10 sacred ingredients scattered across ancient civilizations after the flood, all combined in a simple twice-a-day capsule, ready to help you reconnect with your divine design. And it takes just 8 seconds to do. Feel clean, powerful energy without the crash. Rest deeper and wake refreshed. Names and ideas flowing like water, smooth, effortless, clear. Align with purpose, abundance, and divine timing. Tap into the potential of your Genesis gland, like those who walked in light. Noah, Moses, Adam and Eve. The abundance of the garden surrounds you in vitality, love, and ever-flowing abundance. Eden has been restored. What was once lost to legend, hidden in scripture, stone, and sacred texts, has now been recovered. And this is only the beginning. Rooted in ancient wisdom and echoed by modern research, Genesis Revival supports your Genesis gland through a powerful 3-step renewal. Step 1, shell dissolution. Over the years, the modern world builds a hardened shell around your Genesis gland, clouding your light, scrambling your signal, dimming your design. Step 1 begins to soften this crust, and it all begins with our high mountain shilajit. Harvested above 16,000 feet, this rare black resin has been revered for centuries. Its story begins with Himalayan villagers. They noticed something strange. Goats leaping from rock to rock with impossible energy. Monkeys swinging for hours without rest. While down in the valleys, animals moved slower, weaker, duller. Curious, the villagers searched for the difference, and they traced it back to a tar-like resin seeping from the cliffs, what we now call high mountain shilajit, rich in 84+ trace minerals, charged with fulvic compounds, known as nature's spark. Modern research suggests its unique compounds interact with impurities, supporting the body's natural cleansing and renewal. It's like sending in nature's own magnets, drawing out the static and clutter, even the microscopic fragments of the modern world that shouldn't be there. Think of it as nature's nanotech, softening the shell, clearing interference, flooding your system with life-giving charge. When Shilajit enters your system, it feels like plugging into a divine power source. Next, there's turmeric, traditionally known as the golden healer. Revered as a purifier, it's known for crossing protective barriers few herbs can, where it helps soften the shell, clear the signal, and allow your inner light to shine. Plus, Schizandra berry, said to fire up the body's inner cleansing engine, supporting the body's cleansing currents and helping release what no longer serves you. Microparticles swept away like dust. Finally, there's holy hyssop, used in ancient purification rites, a sacred herb believed to wash away what was unclean in body and in spirit. When step 1 is complete, the shell melts like morning mist, and you're ready for step 2, clock reboot, where we resync your body's natural timing system, back in tune with our original divine rhythm for sleep, energy, and renewal. First, there's lion's mane mushroom, treasured by ancient monks for sharpening the mind and focus. Breakthrough modern studies suggest its compounds may support brain health and renewal. Like a divine electrician, reconnecting circuits that had gone dim, helping thought flow clear, memory feel brighter, and focus return with ease. Next, there's grape skin extract, resveratrol. From the first vineyards of Noah's time, grapes have symbolized vitality and life. Modern studies suggest resveratrol may support healthy circulation and rhythm, like a river carrying life and nourishment upward, keeping your inner clock in sync. And when the flow is steady, vitality returns. Harmony follows. Energy awakens. Plus, reishi mushroom, the legendary mushroom of immortality, treasured for its calming influence, helping the body settle into natural rest. Modern research suggests it may support the body's nightly rhythm, guided by natural melatonin. So sleep comes easier and mornings feel lighter. Today, Naomi and I wake without an alarm clock. And for the first time in years, the coffee pot sits untouched. With step 2 complete, your body remembers its rhythm. Rest deepens, energy steadies. You rise renewed as if stepping back into the garden where age holds no power. 26, 56, 76? Next to Noah's 950, he'd think of you as just a kid. Next comes the final step. Step 3, crystal resonance reawakening. Biological antennas, long believed to help us sense and align with something greater. But over the years, interference has left them quiet. Step 3 helps clear the static, allowing abundance to flow. First, there's gold ormus, the mysterious manna from heaven, once flowing at Mount Cerebit. Legends say it was the secret behind Moses' clear communion with the divine. In modern lore, gold ormus is seen as a conductor of energy, helping the crystalline antennas of the Genesis gland resonate more fully. Our gold ormus is crafted from pure 24-karat gold, carefully refined into a rare powdered form the body can readily use. Those who have experienced it describe vivid dreams, flashes of intuition, and moments that feel touched by favor. Next, there's myrrh, the sacred resin gifted to Christ at birth. Long treasured for its power to awaken the spiritual senses, igniting inner flow and sustaining the Genesis gland's natural harmony. Finally, vanilla, used by the Aztecs and Mayans in sacred ceremonies, believed to open the senses to divine guidance and attune the Genesis gland to higher resonance. When step 3 is complete, you feel it, a deep connection to something greater. Prayers feel answered, dreams turn rich, vivid, even prophetic in feeling, and your desires, they begin to align, as if life responds right on cue. Because when Noah's resveratrol and Moses' gold unite, abundance flows in all directions, like the 4 rivers of Eden. A remembrance of what was once ours. Of course, when Moses and Noah used these sacred elements, they were pure, seen as gifts straight from the Creator. Today the world feels different. The air heavy, the soil strained, even natural products often mixed with man-made shortcuts. That's why I made a vow to protect the purity of Genesis Revival at all costs. No fillers, no shortcuts, no compromises. Just the real thing, worthy of the Creator who made it. We start at the source. Pristine, remote regions untouched by modern pollutants. Every batch, third-party lab tested for metals and contaminants, produced in an FDA-registered, GMP-certified facility, held to the highest purity standards. The result? Pure, powerful, sacred. Exactly as it was meant to be. See, this elixir was never truly lost. It was hidden. Why? Money? Power? Because tired, distracted people are easier to sway? When the Genesis gland lies dormant, power dims, clarity fades, provision slips away. The world prefers you asleep, because when the gland stirs awake, you begin remembering, you begin rising, and their grip begins to fade. So they buried it, mocked it, tried to erase it, but truth survives, and now it returns. For the first time in millennia, you are invited to remember your original design, a new beginning, a new legacy, as an Adam or Eve of this new Eden. Until now, the only way to access Genesis Revival was through a $25,000 retreat. Even then, you needed an invitation. Why so exclusive? Because gathering these sacred ingredients takes serious effort. Remote mountaintops, hidden forests, narrow harvest windows. But I knew this wasn't meant for elites. It was for anyone who hears the call to remember. That said, it's not cheap to mass produce. When we ran the numbers, ingredients, testing, manufacturing, it came out to $400 per bottle. Just the high mountain Shilajit alone cost more than most people spend on their entire supplement shelf. Only accessible for a few weeks each summer, from altitudes most can't even breathe in. My research partner said, "Caleb, we have to price it at $397. The numbers don't lie." And he wasn't wrong. But I thought of Naomi and how we might have missed our moment if this formula had been out of reach. So I partnered with a mission-aligned investor, someone who believes this belongs to the people, not the wealthy few. Together, we streamlined the process without cutting purity. And now, as part of the 444-bottle pilot program, you won't pay $397. Not even half that. In future releases, Genesis Revival will retail for $147 per bottle. But right now, as part of this private test release, yours is available for just $47 per bottle. That's nearly 70% off. At this price, it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime moments you don't ignore. Less than $2 a day to awaken the Genesis spark and step into your Adam and Eve design. Most people spend more on their morning coffee, but instead of relying on caffeine to survive the day, imagine leaping out of bed, clear, energized, aligned, naturally. And once the Genesis gland reawakens, ideas spark, new paths open, blessings feel multiplied. Genesis Revival gives back in ways you never saw coming. Unexpected blessings flowing in, relationships sinking into harmony, a sense of being provided for, blessings unfolding in ways you never planned. It's like planting a single seed and watching an endless garden rise. And maybe best of all, that moment at the doctor's office, he looks at your chart and pauses. Instead of giving a lecture, he raises an eyebrow and says, "I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is, keep doing it." Some have described moments like this, where the usual script flips and even the doctor is left surprised. You feel more in rhythm, more aligned, as if life itself is reflecting something new back at you. Put simply, Genesis Revival has been a turning point for us. And for those who feel called, I feel it in my heart, it can really be the same for you. Just be sure you act fast. Only 444 bottles have been set aside for this pilot program. The ingredients are rare, the sourcing is unpredictable, and once this batch is gone, it's gone. At this point, I can't guarantee when the next run will be ready or how many bottles we'll even be able to produce. That's why the 6-bottle value package makes the most sense. Gives your Genesis gland time to fully restore, locks in your supply while this batch is available, opens the door to lasting change, not just a glimpse. The clarity, the calm, the energy, the flow. Once you've felt it, there's no going back. In fact, many share that their most powerful shifts reveal themselves between months 4 and 6, when the spiritual antenna clears, the body feels renewed, and opportunities begin to pour in like favor from above. Genesis revival just works. And for many, it replaces a cluttered shelf of bottles, saving you space, time, and needless expense, all while igniting a sense of renewal once lost. So when you add in free shipping and a $491 Return to Eden acceleration bonus package, it's easy to see the 6-bottle package is the smartest, best value by far. Tap below to get started now. Just imagine what happens next. It starts that first morning. You open your eyes before the alarm. No grogginess, no snooze button, just a surprising sense of clarity and a bounce in your step. You stretch and notice. Those familiar aches feel eased. The heaviness is lifted. You feel clear, open, like something's shifted. And others see it. At brunch, your friend squints at you across the table. Did you do something different? You look rested, glowing. You laugh it off, but inside, you know, something is different. By week 2, the fog lifts. Thoughts connect more easily. Words and names flow with surprising ease. Then it happens. At the grocery store, your daughter freezes. Oh no, what's her name? The neighbor with the garden. I've known her for years. Without missing a beat, you say, that's Susan Martinez. Her daughter just started at State Engineering. She stares at you. Wait, how'd you remember that? You both laugh. Last month, you were misplacing your car keys. Now, your mind feels clear, awake, alive. And this is just the beginning. Week 3, your prayers feel electric. You sense divine nudges all around you. You feel as if you've stepped back in time. Skin touched with the light of Eden. Your clothes fit easier, looser. You move easier, rest deeper, dream sweeter. But most of all, you feel divinely favored. The flow returns, the joy, the provision, and then something astonishing. You picture yourself opening the mailbox, and there it is, a surprise check. More than enough to imagine the year's mortgage covered, and still margin to breathe. From a source you'd long forgotten, unexpected, unexplainable, undeniable. You hold it in your hands, stunned. Your spouse peers over your shoulder. Is this real? In this vision, you tie the portion, then dream. A surprise trip for the grandkids, the kitchen upgrade, an all-inclusive river cruise through Europe. But that's not the greatest gift, because 6 months later, life has been so aligned, so abundant, you see yourself handed the keys to your dream home. The one you've been praying for, the one you'd drive past whispering, one day. Now, in this vision, it's yours. My friend, from my heart to yours, this is how divine provision was pictured from the beginning. Genesis revival isn't just about renewal. This is your return to Eden, where you walk with God in perfect harmony, where your body moves with ease, your heart overflows, and your cup runs over with blessings. Like Adam and Eve in the garden, you remember what it means to be truly alive. You're shaping a beautiful legacy for generations to come. And here's the best part. When you claim the Genesis Revival 6-bottle value package today, I'm gifting you the complete Return to Eden Acceleration Kit, a $491 value, yours, free. This bonus package helps your Genesis journey unfold faster, deeper, and with more impact. Here's what you receive. Bonus number 1, Genesis Sleep Restoration, a $97 value. Just press play before bed and let 5 guided audio journeys reawaken the Genesis spark each night as you dream. Inside, harmonic frequencies are designed to reawaken your Genesis rhythm, immerse you in Eden-like rest, light up your inner antenna for vivid dreams and flowing guidance. Now, sleep isn't just sleep. It becomes sacred. A nightly return to the garden where your body feels renewed, your spirit connects, and you awaken refreshed. Bonus number 2, the Genesis Abundance Code, $97 value. Your Genesis journey isn't just about vitality. It's about alignment with sacred abundance. Inside, you'll discover how to welcome more abundance into your life, envision the lifestyle your heart longs for, imagine blessings that ripple for generations, live in harmony with the provision of creation, plus so much more. And I've saved the best for last. Bonus number 3, the Genesis Revival Coach, $297 value. Your journey back to Eden unfolds quickly, and you won't want to navigate it alone. This sacred guide, woven with AI wisdom, walks beside you day and night. Receive guidance the moment you need it. Stay aligned with daily words of abundance. Move with clarity as synchronicities appear, and so much more. Together, these gifts carry a $491 value, yours free when you claim the Genesis Revival 6-bottle value package today. Just be sure you take action while supplies last. Tap below to claim your Genesis Revival package before it disappears. Plus, when you join us today, you're protected by my 365-day limitless divine provision guarantee. Here's my promise. You must feel the stirrings of your original Eden design, spirit connected, rhythm reawakened, blessings unfolding in unexpected ways, or I insist you write to me for a full refund of every cent. No hassle, no questions, no need to explain. You have a full 365 days to experience your Genesis Revival and decide if your experience is everything you imagined. This means every bottle you receive today is 100% risk-free. To secure your place in the 444-bottle pilot program, tap the Add to Cart button below and step into the divine flow that's waiting. This is what it feels like to return to Eden's provision. Listen, this isn't just another moment, it's a defining one. The kind that changes everything, for you and for generations to come. A moment of remembrance, of your vitality, your divine connection, your abundant birthright. Imagine the brighter years ahead, where favor meets you around every corner, where you don't just feel good, you feel guided. Your lighthouse shines like a beacon in the night. Now sure, you could close this page, go back to the routine, the noise, the distraction, the world that's forgotten who you really are. Or you could say yes. Yes to your body, yes to your soul, yes to the light that's been waiting to return. Because Genesis Revival isn't just a supplement. It's the key to unlock your own real-life slice of Eden. A place of clarity, of strength, of divine alignment. A place where your children and their children see in you something the world lost, but just remembered. A presence, a power, a glow that doesn't come from makeup or muscle, but from something deeper. A rhythm reawakened, a soul remembered, the 4 rivers of abundance reborn. When you say yes to this, you're not just renewing yourself, you're helping bring the elixir of Eden back to earth. You're laying the foundation of something new, something holy. This may be the first and only time this sacred formula is made available to the public for some time. And as I said, once the pilot batch is gone, it's gone. So if you're ready to step into the light, to lead your family back to the garden, tap below. Your Genesis Revival starts right now. My friend, if I can speak to your spirit for a moment, right now, this is your divine appointment. If you're still here, still reading, it's because something inside you knows this is different. This is sacred. This is a long-lost gift. That knowing, that's your guidance. It led you here to this moment. So knowing that, ask yourself this: what will you wish you had done today when tomorrow comes? And the weariness is still there. The peace is still missing. And the flow of favor you were made for still feels blocked. How many more days are you willing to live disconnected from the divine design God placed in you? You can keep struggling with the same problems, hoping they'll somehow fix themselves. Or you can follow the truth you already know. Imagine waking up tomorrow knowing you finally did something different, something that changes everything. In the weeks ahead, you feel the rhythm returning, your nights deeper, dream-filled, your mornings lighter, full of clarity, a sacred presence stirring inside you, the Genesis spark reawakening, moments of guidance appearing everywhere, forgotten names come rushing back, blessings surprising you in unexpected places, a joyful bounce in your step. You're not just improving, you're remembering who you were always meant to be. And yes, this really can be yours, but only if you say yes right now. If you take my hand and join us on this sacred, life-changing journey, At the time of release, only 444 bottles are available. Once they're gone, the next batch won't be ready for at least 6 months. And when it is, the price will rise to $147, not the $47 you can lock in today. So don't leave your divine appointment empty-handed. Don't let this moment slip away. Tap the button below and begin your return to Eden. Still here? Still deciding? Ever since we announced the public release of Genesis Revival, we've received thousands of questions. Here are the most common, answered simply, while you decide whether to claim your place in the 444-bottle pilot program. Number 1, what makes Genesis Revival different from other supplements? Genesis Revival isn't just another supplement, it's the original. This is the sacred formula said to have sustained Noah through the flood and given Moses divine clarity on Mount Sinai. While most products treat surface-level issues, Genesis Revival goes deeper. It awakens what ancient traditions called the Genesis Gland, the hidden conductor of your inner orchestra. The problem? Over time, a hard shell forms around this conductor. Stress, toxins, and the noise of modern life seal it in. The music fades. The rhythm is lost. Genesis Revival was crafted to help dissolve that shell, to free the conductor, so the orchestra can rise again, every note, every rhythm, playing in harmony. That's the difference. Not chasing symptoms, but breaking through the shell to restore the music of your original design. No synthetics, no fillers, just a return to what worked before modern life veered us off course. Many describe Genesis Revival as replacing a shelf's worth of bottles, freeing up space, time, and even their budget. 2, how fast will I see results? Everyone's journey is different. Some describe shifts almost immediately, lighter mornings, vivid dreams, a sense of renewal. Others say it unfolds like a dawn, the mists clearing, the garden path revealed. As the weeks pass, many speak of something stirring inside, a deeper presence, a clearer focus. And then, almost without warning, someone close pauses, looks into their eyes, and whispers, "I don't know what it is, but you feel different, radiant, beautiful." In that moment, they look less like who the world made them, and more like a timeless Adam or Eve, reborn in modern day. Number 3, how exactly do I use Genesis Revival? It's simple. Take 2 capsules each morning with a glass of pure water. That's it, your 8-second daily ritual. Best taken first thing, before food, supplements, or distractions. Number 4, is Genesis Revival safe? Can I take it with other medications? Every ingredient has been safely used for thousands of years. Genesis Revival is made in an FDA-registered, GMP-certified facility and third-party tested for purity. Still, if you're on prescription meds or have other health concerns, consult your doctor before beginning. Number 5, how do I know this will work for me? That's exactly why I offer the 365-day limitless divine provision guarantee. You must feel Genesis Revival stirring something in you. A return to rhythm, a reconnection of spirit, blessings that begin to unfold in ways you didn't expect. Or I insist you write to me for a full refund of every cent. No hassle, no questions, and yes, you keep all bonuses. A $491 value. My thanks just for giving us a try. Number 6, why only 444 bottles? Is this really limited? This is a true limited release. High mountain shilajit can only be harvested during a short 4-month window. The bioactive gold takes weeks to process properly. The formula cannot be mass-produced without compromising purity. So once these 444 bottles are gone, they're gone. Number 7, how do I order and how quickly will I receive it? Just click the button below. You'll go to our secure checkout page, protected by 256-bit SSL encryption, the same used by major banks. Once your order is placed, you'll receive Genesis Revival in 5 to 7 business days, US orders, via priority shipping. Number 8, what's your refund policy again? It's our 365-day limitless divine provision guarantee. If Genesis Revival doesn't feel aligned for you on every level, we'll refund 100% of your order. No questions, no fine print. Just email support@genesisrevival.com with refund request, and we'll process it within 48 business hours. So I invite you to get started right now. The 444 pilot program spots will fill fast. It's 100% risk-free for an entire year. Tap below and begin your return to Eden right now. Your bonuses are available for immediate download in the members area.